Now, it is coming towards the end of 2023, and I'm sure, like myself, a lot of you guys have been scrolling through your Spotify recap for 2023, looking at your most played songs, and gosh, when you look back on it, I feel like there's a lot of songs that came up, at least for me, that I knew I played a lot, but I didn't know would be number 1, 2, or 3 on the top of my Spotify recap. And that being said, it made me think about doing something a little bit more fashion inspired, streetwear, or sneaker related, looking at my top worn items of 2023. With that being said, we're going to check out my top 3 most worn items from each category today in today's video. And no, it's not exactly my favorite items, but it is the most worn items for the year. So with that being said, let's jump straight into the tops and check out what I've been wearing the most in 2023. Let's go. Now, getting into the first item, the most worn top of 2023. Now, this should really go without shock, and I'm sure you guys would have seen it in a lot of videos. It's actually the t-shirt I'm wearing now, and is also the most requested and most asked about thing that I've actually worn on my channel. As you can see by all the comments popping up right now, I'm constantly getting asked about this t-shirt, and I mean, it's for good reason. It's boxy, it's heavyweight, it's very cropped, you've got that beautiful neck collar there, a little bit elongated in the sleeves. Now, I'm not going to get too much into this shirt. I have done a big video on Sweats Collective as a brand, so I would definitely recommend checking out that video if you guys are interested about it. But man, I love this t-shirt, and honestly, it's on me every single day. So much in fact that, of course, we've got the grey one here. I also picked it up in the washed out grey. I recently also picked it up in the beautiful brown, the wash green, the black, and so many more. And guys, I'm not just picking up 1 or 2 of these. I've picked up multiple pairs because honestly, when it's blanks and for the price, you're not gonna get anything much better than Sweats Collective. So guys, that is my most worn t-shirt, number 1 of 2023. Now, getting into number 2, it also should go without no surprise because this is also worn on my channel quite a lot, and that's probably because I'm coming from either the gym or going to the gym after filming. And of course, without further ado, it is the Represent 247 t-shirt. This is the Team 247 tee right there, and man, oh man, I wear these every single day. No joke, because I'm going to the gym every day, and there's nothing, I'm telling you, nothing in my wardrobe that I wear other than 247 when it comes to going to the gym now. For one, it's so breathable, comfortable, and honestly guys, there's no complaints there. What other reason? It looks sick. It's just so minimal, it works, it really goes into sort of any outfit that I wear. And of course, I had to pick it up in multiple colors as well. I've got the gray, I've got the brown, and of course, this one's actually gonna go into my 3rd most worn shirt of 2023 for a reason. But of course, that is the Team 247 there in that beautiful cobalt blue, which had obviously a big moment in 2023, which also brings me to my 3rd and final most popular, most worn t-shirt of 2023, and that is, of course, going from the cobalt blue to cobalt blue. This is the Represent Cobalt Blue Owners Club t-shirt. Guys, I've owned 3 of these this year. I sold the last 2 because every time I buy it, I would think, okay, it's a blue t-shirt, am I really gonna wear it that much? I would wear the heck out of it every single day, and then I would decide, okay, I'm having a moment, I'm gonna clear out my wardrobe. I sell it, I buy it again. I sell it, I buy it again. And this time, this one's staying in the rotation. This is staying in the wardrobe. I'm not gonna let it go a 3rd time. I've learned my lesson. But this is hands down my 3rd and most worn t-shirt of 2023. With that being said, I think it's time we look at some outerwear pieces, some a little bit more cozy, warm hoodies, jackets, whatever I've been wearing. Let's have a look at those now. Okay, getting into outerwear, my jackets, my hoodies, my fleeces. Now, majority of the time, I don't actually get to wear a ton of these, which sort of sucks because, as you can see, I have a lot of garments here, and obviously I do a lot of reviews, a lot of videos, so the collection sort of grows progressively, and sometimes it gets a little bit too much, which is unfortunate because it is burning hot and scorching outside 90% of the time in Australia. So when it comes to it, I am very selective with what I wear, and majority of the time it only goes down to 3 pieces, which I will show you now. First and foremost, this is such a basic, such an essential, and obviously it's a bit of a play on words because it is the Fear of God Essentials hoodie in that heather gray. And personally, this just fits perfect. It's so great to throw on. I know it's gonna work every time. This is the tonal version, as you can see there with the Fear of God Essentials tonal, which blends in with the heather gray. And when I'm cold, it's just so easy to throw on. know that it's going to fit great and it's going to work with any outfit. Now, speaking of grey hoodies, that actually takes me perfectly into the number 2 of the most worn item, and that is this Sweats Collective zip up hoodie. Now, personally for me, guys, you don't understand how long I've had to search for a perfect zip up hoodie. It's been a long time. I can't tell you how much I fell in love with this garment when I first wore it. Now, I'm sure in the review of the Sweats Collective haul that I did, which included this zip up hoodie, you would have seen how much I loved this piece from the get-go, and I still love it and wear it on the daily. Now, of course, it's just much easier, especially in Australia, when you don't know if it's going to be hot or cold towards the night, to just throw on a zip up hoodie and not have to ruin your hair and your outfit by going over your head with a hoodie when you're committed. Whereas this, you can just zip it undone. It fits perfect. It's very cropped. The quality on this is insane for how much it costs. Honestly, one of my favorite hoodies, one of my favorite pickups in general of the entire year, and definitely one of my most worn items. Love this. Definitely check out the review and on body of this when I first pick it up. Now, coming in at number 3. Now, this one I had my eyes on for so long, and I was worried that I would get it and it wouldn't live up to the hype. And guys, it exceeded my expectations. I love it, and man, oh man, I love this piece. Today, every time I look at it, I still think how incredible it is. It is the Cole Buxton plaid flannel quilted. Oh, I love this piece. This is honestly so sick. One of my best pieces in my wardrobe in general that I picked up in throughout the years. Personally, I just love the details on it. I love the color. It's very wearable, very oversized, very cozy and comfortable. It's in a lot of photos. I've worn it a ton, and honestly, it's just held up. It's super comfortable, and I can't see myself really getting rid of this piece for years to come. With that being said, let's get into the actual bottoms. What I'm wearing: shorts, pants, cargos. Let's have a look. Now, bring us down right to my dresser where a lot of my pants and shorts are kept. We're gonna have a look at the most worn 3 items for bottoms, which is a bit hard because it's obviously combining shorts and pants. So we're gonna have to squeeze something a little bit extra in there. With that being said, number 1, hands down, there is no competition. The Represent 247 cargo pants. There is not anything that comes close to how much I've worn this pair for the last 2 years maybe. It's continuously been my number 1. I've worn it at least 2 or 3 times a week, and that's because I can go out in these, look sick, and wear them to the gym and not have to compromise in both areas. No matter what, this pair just performs. And of course, I've got it in a multitude of colors. I've got the olive, the dark. Of course, this is my second most worn pair in terms of colorway for the 247 cargo pants, and that is that beautiful beige sort of taupe there, which I love. Hands down, every time. I can't stress it enough. I've said it so many times that if you guys don't believe me by now that I wear Represent 247 pretty much 247, then there's honestly no hope. But those, hands down, I just wanted to quickly briefly go over it because I think I've said it time and time again that Represent 247 is pretty much 90% of what I wear every day, honestly. If it's not a Sweats Collective tee with 247 bottoms, it's a different type of bottom with a 247 tee, and that's no joke. But getting into the second most worn item, is actually from a glue store. It is what they own. I've left my belt in here somehow, obviously because I've worn it out recently, and these are their cargos. It is from their brand Article 1, which is an in-house brand from Glue. Now, as much as I want to trash on Glue because I obviously was a store manager there and I don't work there anymore, I will say that these cargo pants are honestly incredible. Unfortunately, I think it's only available for people who live in Australia and New Zealand at the moment, which is a shame because these are great cargos, and I have these in a multitude of colors, which you will see on right now. And personally, love these. I've been wearing these every day. They're very lightweight and quality, and personally, because I worked at Glue, I could get 50% off them, which meant these cargo pants only cost $50 Australian, which is insane. Hence why they were one of my most worn pairs of 2023. I don't know how much it's going to go into 2024. Obviously, I wore this a lot because I worked at Glue. However, that's not the case anymore. So we will see going into the new year if they carry on. And number 3, now this is just going to be a pair of shorts. It's nothing too fancy, and it's because I honestly just wear them all the time to the gym, out and about. And these are just the Uniqlo shorts, and they're the 5-inch. They're a little bit shorter. They are a bit more of a gym bro type fit, but personally, they're just super comfortable and very breathable. Obviously, they could be styled with my 247 top, which is majority of the time what they're being done with. Right now, I have picked up a few Represent 247 shorts, which you will see in an upcoming video, which are sort of replacing this pair day on and day out. But hands down, this was definitely the most worn pair of 2023. Now, I did want to throw in an honorable mention just for bottoms, because it's a little bit hard to get everything in just for bottoms, because you do go between pants, sweatpants, shorts, and of course, I just alluded to it there, that this is a pair of sweatpants. And this is the Fear of God Essentials cuffed sweatpants. Honestly, love these. I've worn these so much. They're obviously just a very basic pair of sweatpants. You've got that minimal branding there in just the sort of crotch area, and you have got it down here in the flocked sort of Fear of God Essentials print. Now, I have worn these a ton during the colder months. Obviously, it's very hot right now, but it's definitely worth mentioning because when it was colder, I was wearing those on the daily. And actually, if you look at a lot of the on-foot videos that I've done previously for sneakers, or just try-on hauls that involved a top, a lot of the time I'm wearing Fear of God Essentials, because if I'm not out and about wearing them when it's cold, I'm actually just wearing them at home because they're just so comfortable and cozy. And yes, I know a lot of people sort of trash on Fear of God Essentials because it's become so mainstream, but I think it's only become mainstream because it's generally so like bang for buck in terms of what you get, in terms of the quality, the fit. Honestly, I think it's worth it if you're paying retail. If you're paying resale, I don't know what you're doing. That's a horrible decision. But Fear of God Essentials for retail, honestly, who can really judge you? They're great essentials. Now, that being said, we're going to move into the lucky last category, which is accessories. And honestly, I don't really wear accessories much, but the three that I have on the list, I wear a ton, and that's for good reason. So let's check those out. Now, getting into the accessories, as I mentioned, I don't have a lot of accessories, but the ones that I have, I wear a ton. So I think it's best to show you the #1 most worn accessory of 2023. And man, I'm not mad about this. These are the Represent 247 glasses. Honestly, wear these pretty much every single day, no joke. And that's for two reasons. One, because I love the overall look of them. I think they're very aesthetic, and I go on a lot of runs, and I think it's just great. It's like a visor. It definitely does protect you from the sun. But in terms of #2 on the reason, is just they're so lightweight. Obviously, they are intended to be worked out in, ran in, so it means they are very lightweight, and you honestly just don't feel them on. They're super comfortable. I honestly held out on buying these for a long time because, for one, I love Represent for its clothing, but when they sort of delve into new areas like accessories and glasses, I'm a little bit skeptical, of course, especially for the first iteration. But man, love these to a T, super comfortable. As you can see, just on the back there, you also have got a little nose guard that really just sort of adds to the comfort, and it just locks it in place, especially when you're running. So of course, I do wear these a ton. Honestly, love these. You will see these in a lot of pictures, a lot of videos. If I'm ever on a run, I'm wearing these. Now that also brings me to #2, which is another pair of glasses. And of course, I really did buy into the hype on these, and I feel like that's for good reason. They've lived up. I haven't worn them as much as of recently because I've really moved on to those 247 glasses. However, I do love this, and I got a lot of wear out of this pair, and this is the Balenciaga. I believe it's the oval glasses. Obviously, this is the one that's trending. There is a million fakes out there, and of course, I really do appreciate the fashion industry, so I just hate partaking in like getting a sort of rip-off or fake or replica, any sort of things like that. I don't judge anyone who does, but in terms of myself, I wanted to pay the actual money for the design, you know, for what they worked on. So as of course you can see, instead of paying $15 for a pair, I paid $6.80 for a pair just to have that nice little Balenciaga on the side there. But honestly, the quality on these is really nice. The only thing I noticed after a while of wearing them is that they can get a little bit more uncomfortable, just because they're a little bit more thick. And of course, they're not as lightweight as the 247 pair. So initially I was running in these, which was not a good decision because these are more of a fashion aesthetic. But personally, love these. Don't regret picking them up at all. I definitely think they're worth the money. I think glasses is something that I realized it's a good investment if you're going to wear it a ton, which for these last two pairs, I have. Now that brings me to option #3. Man, I'm looking at the glasses in the mirror right now. Maybe I have to wear these a little bit more. These look really good. Anyways, getting into #3, the third most worn item of 2023 in terms of accessories, and this is actually a bag. This is the Yeezy Gap snake bag. Honestly, love the bag. I just love the whole design of it being sort of like padded all round. No adjustable strap, you just sort of throw it over and it works. And personally, I just think it's such a nice aesthetic. It's definitely something very different. As you can see, you can just throw it over there. And I think it just looks great, honestly. Practicality wise, it's not that practical. I've tried to take snacks in this to the movies or put my camera in it, and it does work for the most part. It's just not very practical, I guess you could say. There's not a lot of room in it. It just only sort of carries a few little things, perhaps like a pair of glasses or something like that. So if you're carrying light, this is definitely a great bag. But in terms of anything more than a pair of glasses, a snack, or a drink, really it can't hold much. But in terms of aesthetics, I love this. I think it's a great way to complement your outfits, and that's why it is number 3 on my list. Oh, and I completely was about to cut off the video and end the video without mentioning one more thing, which of course, what is the one thing we're missing out of completing an entire outfit? The sneakers, the shoes. I don't know how that skipped my mind, but let me quickly show you my top 3 sneakers for 2023. And wrapping up the outfit, of course, the sneakers, what's on my feet, completing the outfit. Now, as you can imagine, looking at a lot of the outfits, I'm wearing a lot of essentials, a lot of grays, blacks, whites. So as you can imagine, it's going to come down to a few neutral shoes. Now, number 1, the most worn sneaker of 2023, it's not even going to be hard. Honestly, I was never a big fan of this silhouette, and somehow this collaboration made me love it a lot more. And that is actually the Air Force One with Drizzy Drake, the collaboration with Nocta. This is the Air Force One. Now, as you can see, it pretty much looks like a regular Air Force One, except you are getting those elevated qualities in terms of comfort and in terms of quality in general, the leather. As you can see, this pair is very beat. I don't know how I thrashed it this much. It actually looks a lot better than what it did a day ago because I actually cleaned it. So it's looking somewhat a little bit more white than it was before. But overall, like, I don't know if you can tell, but the shape on this one is completely messed up. So much so that I decided to invest in a second pair. So I have got a fresh, crispy Air Force One with Nocta there on top. I don't know when I'm going to wear this one because I'm scared to get it dirty already, because as much as I loved wearing these, I'm like, when do I cross over? When is the point where you realize this shoe's done and it's time to get this one out? Please let me know down below. With that being said, getting into the next item. Now, this is definitely number 2 on the list. This is most worn 2 years, 3 years in a row. I forget where these come out, but I honestly wear these at least 2 or 3 times a week. At least 2 or 3 times a week. And that is the Nike LDV Sakai Waffle. I don't know if I'm actually getting the whole name correct here, but it is the pair of Sakais from Nike. This collaboration, one of my favorite, definitely. I have worn this pair to absolute death. Funny fact, I actually bought the black and white pair for resale originally, and that cost me around like $700 or so, and I honestly wear that pair here and there. And then I found this pair online on eBay, authenticity guaranteed, and it was beat up, it was shot. And of course, I don't know if you can really tell, but there was some stains on here. I actually gave it a big wash. I picked it up for the low. It passed authenticity. I got it for around $200 or so, and they were destroyed, honestly. Threw these in the wash, gave it a good clean, and they honestly came out close to brand new. But I can tell you right now, I've thrashed these, washed them, thrashed these, washed them, and honestly, they're still like surviving somehow. Unfortunately, I think they're getting close to passing away, because the other week I did have to resole them with some Gorilla Glue. It completely ripped off. So hopefully they stay alive a little longer, because they are probably like my favorite sneaker entirely. Out of everything that I own, probably my favorite sneaker that I own, honestly. Love these, love these, love these. And if they do fall apart, I might just have to bite the bullet and buy another one, because I love it that much. With that being said, getting into the final one, of course, getting onto the bit of a trend here. This is another white shoe, another sneaker that's trending worldwide, the Adidas Samba. Now, of course, I didn't want to pick up the one that everyone has, the white and black pair. Obviously, this is white and black, but this is the sporty and rich collaboration, which just means you're getting a little bit more premium details in terms of the actual quality. I do love the fact that they've sort of changed the brown bottom to a little bit more of a gum bottom, which I really love. I know it's a subtle detail, but for me, I really love all those little details that make a big difference. And personally, I've worn this one a ton. As you can see, it is creasing quite heavily because, well, I've put a lot of wear into it, but this is definitely my third most worn sneaker of 2023. And with that being said, as you can see, you can imagine all the outfits I'm wearing. Personally, the grey track pants, the grey top, a white sneaker, the color combos are there. You can imagine what I'm wearing now that you've seen my 2023 most worn items. And of course, as I was ending the video, the camera said battery exhausted and closed off, shut off, right as I was saying my outro to the video. So I don't know the cutoff in time, but guys, let me know one thing down below that you have worn the most in 2023, as simple as a Uniqlo Airism tee or a basic pair of shorts. Let me know what's up there on your list of what you're actually wearing the most. With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to drop a like down below. With that being said, hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you in the next one. See ya.